welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited because today we're going to play with the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope Dream palette. First off, with the packaging, I love this because this comes with a huge ass mirror. And also too, the pans are a lot bigger than I thought they'd be. Sometimes you can get Urban Decay palettes that have a much smaller pan size and you kind of might expect they'd come with. But these are like full-size Urban Decay shadows, which is awesome. I'm sure you've seen a lot about this collection already. The collection came with 2 eyeshadow palettes. One was more of a neutral palette and this one is the super colorful palette. I got the colorful palette instead of the neutral palette because 2 things. A, couldn't afford both of them. B, the colorful ones just really spoke to me a lot more than the other one did. The other one looked beautiful though, don't get me wrong. But this comes with my favorite shades of blues and my favorite shades of purples. And I love gold. I could always use gold. So this gold really spoke to me too. I'm so excited to play with this palette today. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm gonna go for because there's just so much happening in this. Like there's color all over the place. So I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. The one other thing I did get from this collection was their single shadow that they released with it. And this is a really beautiful orange color and this is called S.G.H. It is definitely a matte finish. It has a little bit of shimmer in it. You cannot really see the shimmer when it's applied. It's just in the pan you see the shimmer. So I'm not scared to use this in my crease when I do use it in my crease. I got the single shadow because I didn't really see a transition shade that I'd want to use for my crease in the actual palette. So I thought it'd be good to just grab this and see if I can do something with it. So before I do my foundation today, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyes first and get that out of the way so we don't get a bunch of color fallout into the foundation. That would be bad. All right guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera real quick and I'll be right back. So for a transition shade, we're going to take the single shadow right here called S.G.H. And I am taking this on a BH Cosmetics number 8 brush and just running it all in my crease. I really like this orange. I don't think I have another orange like it. And this is so easy to work with. Like it blends so nicely. If you like warm orangey looks, I definitely recommend this one. Like just as a single shadow, it's so nice to have. And now jumping into the palette, I'm gonna take this shade right here called Tajin. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not quite sure. And with a MAC 217 brush, I'm just gonna work that lower into my crease. I also really want this orange in a single shade. This is such a pretty orange. I kind of wish that they would have put that single shadow in this palette because I think it would have been a really nice addition to it. Just to, you know, like have 3 matte shadows in the palette I think would have been a good move. But, you know, that's just my 2 cents. Because these 2 oranges just work together so well. I'm just taking my time packing that on the outer V and then blending up. And I am going to take this all the way into my inner corner. And now going back in with that BH brush, I'm just going right over top of that just to soften it up a little bit. And I am going to cut my crease a little bit, so I'm taking some concealer in a Sigma E58 brush, and I'm just being really careful in creating a new crease right to about just past the middle of my eye. And I'm not doing anything wild with this. I just want to make sure that the colors I laid down on my lid show up as vibrantly as possible. So just a disclaimer, I kind of messed up that crease a little bit. So I went back and added some orange to the inner part of my crease and then recut my crease out so it matches my other eye. So now I'm going in with the shade Spitfire. And I'm going in with a flat shader brush and just laying that color down. And now going in with the shade Dye, which is this really beautiful deep purple. I'm going in with an Anastasia A3 brush and blending it into that Spitfire shade and moving that closer to the outer V, but not all the way over. And now I'm going to take this blue shade right here called TRM. And this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky, but also fun because we have fun here. But I'm going to take that blue and blend it into that purple, but also keep it in my outer V area. The tricky part about this is it is blue and it's very difficult to blend blue into orange, but also it is a metallic shade, so we're trying to blend a metallic shade into the crease area, but make it not look crazy. This can go south really quick, so you want to make sure you take your time. Who says you can't blend blue into orange, you know? So we're going to go back and forth a lot between the orange, black, and blue, but I'm going back in with Tajin and going really gently over top of that blue shade. We want to start to get that back and then also make the blend a little bit more gentle. We are working with dark shades, so it's not like this is going to be the softest look on the planet, but we can make it less harsh. And I am doing this in very, very light circular motions. I'm almost kind of packing that orange on top of the blue and just carefully blending out. And now with the Cosette S185, I am taking the black shade in the palette and just working that right into my outer V. I am not dragging this inwards, just keeping this right in this area. And now with a little bit more Tajin, I'm just going right on top of that black. And now with a mixture of TRM and dye, I'm just taking that on my finger and patting it right where that black starts. And while I'm at it, I'm going to take a little bit of Spitfire and do the same thing. For my brow bone highlight, I'm going to take this side of this split pan right over here called Brixton, and I am just putting that right underneath my brow bone. And I am taking Tajin and running that all the way across my lower lash line. And with this super tiny brush, I am taking a little bit of dye and putting that on the outer part of my lower lash line. Alright, so don't mind how loved and gross these lashes look right now, but I'm going to go off camera real quick and apply these lashes called Demure Lite from House of Lashes, and I will be right back. So I apologize, I completely forgot about my waterline. So for my waterline, I'm going to use this Makeup Geek pencil in Orchid. So I haven't primed my face yet because I wanted to use a new primer that I got in the mail the other day, and this is the Pixi Beauty Rose Flash Balm. It says it is a 3-in-1 moisturizer, primer, and mask, and I'm just going to rub this into my skin. This definitely feels really hydrating. I really love Pixi skincare products. I think one of my favorite products ever is their Glow Tonic. I do have like an issue with my skin texture and everything, and that one really helps exfoliating, and it's not harsh on my skin. Definitely recommend the Glow Tonic. This feels really nice. It feels super creamy and hydrating, and it also feels like sticky, so my foundation's gonna want to stick to this, which is good. And it has a really light floral scent to it also. It's nothing overpowering, but it smells nice too. And I still haven't purchased more of my IT Cosmetics foundation. So for foundation today, I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. And I'm just going in with my Sigma Kabuki brush and just buffing that into my face. And since I went ahead and did my eyes first, I'm going right underneath my eyes. I'm not taking this into my under eye area because I don't want to mess it up. We're going to be really careful with that when we move on to concealer. But for right now, we're just going to let it be. I don't know about where you are, but the weather here has been so up and down lately. Like last week it was freezing cold, and now it's getting warm. And my skin, it's just been responding to it so poorly. So I've got like flaky dry skin everywhere. And I feel like with almost every other foundation, my foundation looks cakey when my face is dry, but the Makeup Forever one and the IT Cosmetics one don't look bad on my skin when it's dry. And for concealer, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Light Neutral. And I am putting this right underneath my under eye area. I'm not bringing it all the way up to my lash line because that'll completely destroy the lower lash line makeup we put down. And I'm just being very careful and just kind of going around the contour of my eye area. And I'm also putting some of that on my forehead and on my nose, on my chin, and around my nose, you know, the usual areas. And I'm blending out my under eye area first and using my Kat Von D Lock It Concealer brush. So like I said in my last video, this brush just lets you get right up close to your lower lash line, but not actually in your lower lash line. If you're trying to be really precise with your concealer, this is definitely a good brush for that. And you can also use that to clean up the edge of your eyeshadow if you want it a little bit sharper. And I'm just being very careful with this and using a really light hand so I don't go too crazy and mess this all up. Because there's definitely nothing more frustrating when you get to the very end of doing your makeup and you completely screw up your eye makeup and you're like, ugh, gotta start over. Alright, now I'm just going to blend out the rest of my concealer. And as usual, to set all that, I'm going to use my MAC Cosmetics and PatrickStarrr Patrick's Powder. I don't need to tell you guys because y'all already know, but this powder is absolutely everything. This just gives my skin such a nice finish. I really feel like I can rave about this powder in every single video. It's that good. And I'm going to put some of that on my forehead as well. And on my chin. On my nose. And with the bigger brush, I'm just going to dust this all over the rest of my face. And for my contour, as usual, I'm using Sombre and Shadow Play from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I feel like I really try to go out of my comfort zone and try new contour powders and always end up coming back to this. And for my highlight today, I'm going to use the Melt Cosmetics Digital Dust Highlighter in Stargazer. And I'm going to finish my inner corner real quick because I didn't want it to get covered up by foundation and concealer. But for my inner corner, I'm going to take this shade right here in the split pan called Leo. And it's a really, really beautiful light blue iridescent color. It is such an unassuming color in the pan, but the second you put this on your eye, it is like in your face. And I'm absolutely living for it. So for blush today, I'm going to take the Jouer Flirt Blush Duo, and I'm going to use this shade right here called Kiss Me. Like, this is super pink in the pan, but applies really, really nicely. Like, you don't have a ton of pink that's just, like, sitting on your face. I am so super frustrated with myself for not getting the lipstick in the collection, but at the time, it was either I can get the lipstick or I can get the eyeshadow, but I can't get all of it together just because it was a little bit too expensive for me. And there's a gray colored liquid lipstick in the collection that I didn't purchase, but I still really, really want. I'm going to try my best to match the liquid lipstick that's in the collection. But for lips today, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Matte Lipstick in Resin. Alright everybody, this is the finished look. I definitely have to say that the Kristen Leanne Urban Decay Kaleidoscope Dream palette, this is probably one of my favorite palettes that Urban Decay has put out since the Basquiat palettes. I know I pronounced that wrong. Sorry. But those were so super colorful and also super blendable and easy to work with. And Urban Decay did put out the metallic palette over the holiday season, which was great and everything, but this is just such a really beautiful collection of shades. You do have to pair it with some other stuff. With the other palette that they released, this would work really well with it. I would love for the dark orange shade to be a single shadow though. So that's my thought on that. This is just such a fun palette, and I was going back and forth on even buying it, and I'm so glad I did. And also too, I have not seen a lot about this single shadow, but this is also a great shadow. I feel like I'm using all those YouTuber buzzwords like so pigmented and so blendable, but really, this is so nice to work with. It is so blendable. Urban Decay definitely gets a 10 out of 10 from me for this one. I haven't tried the other things in the collection, but if they're as good as this palette is, then it is a fantastic collection. So yeah, I could rant and rave about this all day, but if you love to play with color, this is definitely one thing that you should pick up. And also one more really quick thing, this Pixi Balm feels really, really good underneath my foundation. I obviously haven't done a full day's wear test on this, but my foundation applied really well on top of it. There weren't any cakey problems, it didn't break up. My foundation looks really, really nice on my skin right now, and that is even with it being flaky and dry. So that says a lot to me. So I know Target carries Pixi stuff, so if you see it, this is definitely something I would recommend picking up. Alright guys, as always, if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to let me know down below what you want to see. I've gotten a few new things in the mail that I really, really want to film with, and a couple of old palettes that I want to film with just for the hell of it, just to do it, because I haven't yet. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.